The chlorine stung my eyes as I surfaced, gasping for air. Across the lane, Emma stood with her stopwatch, that familiar smirk playing on her lips. 2 minutes 15, she announced. Still not good enough, Parker. What she didn't know was that I was holding back. Tomorrow's race would change everything, not just for me, but for my daughter Lily too. 6 months earlier, I was drowning, not in water, but in life. Daddy, can we have pizza tonight? Lily asked, her small hand in mine as we walked home from her school. At 7 years old, her world was still simple. Mine was anything but. Not tonight, sweetheart. We need to save a little this week, I said, forcing a smile while mentally calculating how many more meals I could stretch from our groceries. Being a single dad wasn't what I'd planned. After Sarah died 3 years ago, I became both mother and father to our daughter. The marketing firm I worked for had been understanding at first, but deadlines don't care about bedtime stories or school plays. That morning, my boss had called me into his office. Parker, we need to talk about your performance, he said, not bothering to look up from his computer. The Westfield account was the third deadline you've missed this quarter. I know, sir. My daughter was sick last week, and I had to. He held up his hand. I don't need the details. What I need is someone reliable. We're letting you go. Just like that. 7 years at the company, gone. I walked out with a cardboard box and a knot in my stomach. How would I tell Lily? How would I pay rent? The child support from Sarah's life insurance was almost depleted. 2 weeks and 17 rejected applications later, I was sitting in the waiting room of Horizon Fitness, a luxury gym chain expanding across the city. They needed a marketing director, and despite being overqualified, I was desperate. That's when I first saw Emma Chen. She strode into the room with the confidence of someone who had never doubted herself a day in her life. At 35, she was younger than I expected for a CEO, dressed in a tailored suit that probably cost more than my monthly rent. Mr. Parker Thompson, she asked, extending her hand. Her grip was firm, her gaze direct. Yes, that's me, I said, standing quickly. You're overqualified for this position, she stated bluntly after reviewing my resume in her office. I prefer to think of it as bringing exceptional value, I replied. A hint of a smile touched her lips. Honest and quick. I like that. She leaned forward. But I need to know, why does someone with your experience want this job? I considered lying, crafting some story about seeking new challenges. Instead, I told her the truth. I'm a single father. My daughter is 7. I need stability, a job that understands sometimes life happens. I'll work harder than anyone else you interview, but I won't pretend my daughter isn't my priority. Emma studied me for a long moment. My father raised me alone after my mother left, she said finally. He never missed a swim meet or school play, even while building his business. She closed my file. The job is yours, with one condition. What's that? Join our company swim team. We compete against other corporate teams, and we're short a male swimmer. I hadn't swum competitively since college, but I nodded without hesitation. I can do that. Good. Because I'm the team captain, and I hate losing. Working for Emma was challenging in ways I hadn't expected. She was brilliant, demanding, and surprisingly fair. The flexible hours meant I could pick Lily up from school most days, and the salary helped us move to a better apartment closer to Lily's school. Every Tuesday and Thursday morning, the company swim team practiced at the gym's Olympic-sized pool. Emma was always first in the water and last out. I quickly realized she wasn't just competitive, she was a former collegiate swimmer who had nearly qualified for the Olympics. You're holding back, she said one morning after practice, as we toweled off poolside. I've watched you. Your form is excellent, but you're not pushing yourself. I'm just getting back into it, I said. She raised an eyebrow. The corporate championship is in 3 months. I need your best, not your excuses. As the weeks passed, a strange rhythm developed between us. At work, she was my boss, professional, sometimes intimidating. In the pool, we were equals, pushing each other lap after lap. And occasionally, when she thought no one was looking, I caught her watching me with an expression I couldn't quite decipher. The night before the championship, the team gathered for dinner at Emma's penthouse apartment. It was sleek and modern, with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. While the others mingled, I found myself on the balcony, phone in hand. "Is everything okay?" Emma asked, joining me outside. "Just checking on Lily. My neighbor is watching her tonight." Emma nodded, leaning against the railing. In the soft evening light, away from the office, she seemed different, less the untouchable CEO and more simply human. "You're a good father," she said quietly. "I try to be." "Tomorrow's race is important to me," she said, changing the subject. "This championship, it's personal." "Because you like winning?" "Because my father's company will be there. He's never thought I could succeed on my own." She turned to face me. "I have a proposition for you, Parker." "I'm listening." "If you swim your hardest tomorrow, if you beat me in your heat, I'll reward you with one night." My heart skipped. "One night?" "One night where you can ask anything of me. Professional advice, a raise, a recommendation, whatever you need." I looked at her, really looked at her, and saw something I hadn't before, vulnerability beneath the strength. "And if I want more than one night?" I asked quietly. Her eyes widened slightly. "What do you mean?" "I mean, what if I want something that can't be contained in one evening?" The air between us changed, charged with possibility. "Then you'd better swim very fast tomorrow," she whispered. The championship was held at the University Aquatic Center. 8 companies, each with their best swimmers. Emma's father, a stern-looking man in an expensive suit, watched from the VIP section. Our team was doing well, but we needed a strong finish in the final relay to win. Emma would swim the anchor leg. I was second. "Remember our deal," she murmured as we lined up. When my turn came, I dove into the water and everything else disappeared. There was only the rhythm of my strokes, the burn in my muscles, the water parting before me. I touched the wall with a time that surprised even me. Emma's leg was magnificent. She cut through the water like she was born to it, finishing half a body length ahead of her nearest competitor. We'd won. As the team celebrated, Emma's father approached her. I couldn't hear what he said, but I saw her face fall slightly before she composed herself. Later, as we gathered our things, Emma found me by the locker room. "You beat your seed time by 4 seconds, she said. "You could have been swimming like that all along." Maybe I needed the right motivation. She smiled. "A deal's a deal. One night. What do you want?" I took a deep breath. "I want you to meet Lily." Her expression softened with surprise. "Your daughter?" "Yes. She's the most important person in my life. And if there's going to be anything more between us, it starts with her." Emma was quiet for a moment. "That's more than one night." "I know." She reached out, her fingers brushing mine. "I'd like that." 3 days later, Emma joined us for dinner at our apartment. Lily, initially shy, warmed up when Emma asked about her science project on marine life. "Did you know my daddy used to swim in college?" Lily asked as we ate the spaghetti I'd prepared. "I did," Emma said, smiling at me across the table. "He's very good. He taught me too. But I'm still learning." "Maybe someday I could watch you swim," Emma suggested. Lily's face lit up. "Really? Daddy, can she come to my lesson on Saturday?" I looked at Emma, at the genuine warmth in her eyes. "If she wants to." "I want to," Emma said softly. Later, after Lily was asleep, Emma and I stood in my small kitchen, washing dishes side by side. "Thank you for tonight," she said. "For dinner. It was just spaghetti. For showing me your world. For trusting me with Lily." She set down the dish towel. "My father called me after the championship. He said I only won because of my team, not because of me. That's not true. I know. But I've spent my whole life trying to prove myself to him." She looked up at me. "You don't try to prove you're a good father. You just are one." I took her hand. "Emma, I don't know what this is between us, but I'd like to find out. Slowly, for Lily's sake. And for mine," she admitted. "I'm not good at relationships. Work has always come first. Maybe we can figure it out together." She smiled, a real smile that reached her eyes. "I'd like more than one night to try." 6 months later, Emma cheered from the sidelines as Lily completed her first full lap without stopping. I stood beside her, our hands linked. "She's determined, like her father," Emma said. "And stubborn, like someone else I know," I teased. Emma laughed, then grew serious. "Parker, I've been thinking. My lease is up next month." My heart raced. "Are you asking what I think you're asking?" "I'm asking if there's room in your lives for me. Permanently." I pulled her close. "We've been waiting for you to realize that's what we want too." That night, as the three of us walked home together, Lily skipping ahead, I realized something profound. Sometimes winning isn't about being the fastest or the strongest. Sometimes it's about having the courage to ask for more than you think you deserve, and finding someone willing to give it. If you enjoyed this story about taking chances and finding love in unexpected places, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more heartfelt stories that remind us second chances are always possible. Thanks for watching.